the last Coca-Cola in the desert.
Yeah, so
Nobody's
true.
That. Nobody's that. Nobody in life is the last Coca-Cola in the desert. There's always somebody there to. Bro, it's true. If God calls you, God appoints you, God gives you destiny. If you don't walk in it, there's somebody else that's gonna come up and
100%. 100%.
Nobody's indispensable.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the killer mentality for what we do, and in all aspects, whether it be in church, whether it not be in church, that killer aspect that I'm going for yours, you're gonna rub people the wrong way, and you may be the hottest ticket on the market, but nobody's gonna want to work with you. Nobody's gonna want to work with you. It's all about the harmony. I'd rather work with my boy. Oh, I'll invite you. Whether you don't play as great as that cat, but you have the right attitude, and you come prepared. A lot of these cats don't go prepared. A lot of these cats go there and learn the music. I don't know. I'm not with me, bro. I don't.
Welcome to the Everything and Anything podcast, where we talk about everything and anything. I'm your host, Frank.
And I'm your host, Uzi.
And today we have a special guest. We got Abi in the building.
Abi, the one and only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're doing good. How you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm
looking
blessed
good.
and highly favored, man.
Yes, sir.
It's so good to see you, man.
Yeah.
It's really good to see you, bro.
I heard. I got a friend of mine, a guitar player. His name is Wally Ali. It says he tells me all the time, it's good to be seen and not watched.
I like that. I like that. That's really cool, man. We're here in Springfield. We decided to come out and talk to Abi, and we wanted to show, different sides of the man. I feel like Abi is a big contributor here in New England to, the music industry and how things move here. And man, why don't you share with us a little bit of what got you started, man?
What got me started? I think it was more of when I started here. I'm a Massachusettsian.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and I guess what got me started was the music. The drums is what got me. Everybody knows that I play drums. It got me started and wanted to play at the church because the church was the scene back then.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play at the best church with the best musicians, and I developed that hunger. And that's what got me kind of started.
What age?
Oh man, I'd say I started playing drums at an early age. I used to take my mom. Hey, let me tell you a story that I haven't shared too much. Not too many people know. My grandmother is Ana Velasquez. My mother, my dad's mother. She was the head of the Instituto Mispa. Remember that Movimiento Internacional? That was like the biggest.
Oh yeah,
Bible Institute in all of the Spanish church.
Okay.
Assemblies of God, Church of God, whatever. Any of those concilios, Instituto Mispa was the one you would go to graduate and get your credentials. My grandmother was the founder here in this area.
Wow, in this area. Wow.
Yeah. So, when I was born, they put me in her hands, and she raised me up and said, "This is gonna be my worshiper."
Wow.
And that's I guess I was right when I came out the womb. I was
called.
Yeah, she actually did. She put a demand on the Lord, as they said, right?
That's really cool, man.
So
that's really cool. What age would you have said that you started really developing like the knowledge and the passion? Would it be like in your teenage years, or was it more like
the passion, as far as the hunger to learn more and to really be in music? Was I believe I started playing at the church at the age of 5. And since that moment on, I wanted to learn as much as I was a sponge. I would watch, and back then we didn't have no YouTube.
Right.
Nothing that would help us. We had to shed for real. You know what I mean? So that was my choice.
no shortcuts?
No shortcuts. That and WWE, WWF back in.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me. The music and just that. Did I just hear a gunshot?
No, that sounded like a firework.
Oh, okay.
Fireworks.
Okay. Because if so, brother, we hitting that floor. We are in Springfield.
Tuck and roll.
Hey, blooper moment or what? No, that's actually a good moment.
Yeah.
Raw.
Oh, good.
So yeah, so I believe that. I believe that at the age I was just, man, I wanted to learn, and I just didn't want to learn one instrument. I wanted to learn, because it wasn't just the one instrument for me. It was more the whole unit of it, to create it, to be, you know what I'm saying? The guitars, the keys. What would I do different? I would hear different musicians. I would do this different. I was hearing melodies and stuff in my head at a very, very young age.
Wow. I think one day when I had a gig with you, you picked up my bass, and I was like, Abby plays bass too? I was like,
man,
what?
Listen, I love the bass. I'm a frustrated bass player. That's a firework.
We gonna have to rock with it, y'all.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, bass. I actually gigged on do some bass gigs.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, but here's how I think. Here's my mentality. So I'm a drummer, correct? So if I'm gonna be a part of a band, then I'm gonna play the drums. I would love to play bass, but what am I doing playing bass if I'm a drummer? So I'm a drummer thinking like a bass, or I'm a bass player thinking like a drummer. I like the authenticity. I'm a purist when it comes to that stuff.
You specialize. That's the
so
specialty.
if I'm a drummer, but I want a purist that plays bass, that thinks different than what I would do on drums or that I would do on the bass. That's when you create an ensemble magic.
Exactly.
That's when you create the connection. When you have everybody duking their own instrument. By duke, I mean when you're a duke, you're a G.
Yep.
You know, you got the sauce. So that's the way I see it.
When did you realize, like, yo, I got this skill, like, and
can really do this?
Yeah, like,
I still haven't realized that.
Wow. You know, I find that to be a really cool response from a lot of people that we interview.
I don't think I've realized where I mean by realize, not by me realizing something, but to realize what it is that I would achieve. I don't think I would ever achieve, at least for me, for my personal being, the level I want to be at. I always want to be better.
Evolving.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be evolving. The moment you're comfortable doing anything, the moment you hit a comfort zone and you don't break out of that, you're in trouble.
Correct.
Especially if you love what you do.
Right.
There's Jesus, man. I've watched YouTube and I see some incredible musicians at ages when I said, wow, if I can only do that stuff when I was that age. You know what I mean? They're flying.
Who were you kind of like focused on at an earlier age? What were some of the drumming names that kind of like really impacted you?
For me, it was Dave Weckl. I think that.
Yeah, bro, that's a big one.
People, you know, they say Vinny, they say, because you gotta put in perspective. Everybody has an off night. Everybody, and that they base things. First of all, I don't think nobody's better than anybody. If you're a beginner to a professional, we're all doing music. So ain't nobody better than anybody. We're all the same. Point blank. You know, if are some more evolved, is some are more seasoned, yeah. But our job as seasoned, because I'm an OG now, baby. I was
vintage.
Is to bring up the ones that are coming up.
Wow. Wow, that's big.
So yeah. What was the question?
Some drummers, some of the drummers.
Dave Weckl, underrated by far, the technical machine, right? So the Buddy Rich Memorial Scholarship, everybody goes to that video where it's him, Vinny Colaiuta, and Steve Gadd. If you have not seen that video, go to YouTube right now, well, after you watch this, and put Buddy Rich Memorial Scholarship, Weckl, Colaiuta, and Steve Gadd. And that whole video is a lesson. I mean, Weckl, if you talk to Weckl, which I have, he says that day he was off, the sound was horrible. But he had an off night, but he still sounded incredible.
Wow.
And I've never had a conversation with Vinny. I've just seen him at the Drum Off back in 2000 because, I competed all the way in California.
Oh, I didn't know that. We got to talk about that.
The Drum Off, I won here. I won in New York, the regionals, and then I went all the way to L.A. at the House of Blues, and I lost by 1 point. There was a lot of
What year? What year was this?
2000. Yeah, 2000. So, I've talked to Vinny there. Vinny was one of my judges. And,
okay.
But not talk. I said, hi, you're one of my, major influences. He said, thank you. And he had to go. He was leaving with Sting. Hours after the Drum Off, he was getting on a plane and starting to tour with Sting.
Wow.
So, not really much conversation. But with Weckl, I've talked a couple of times.
Okay.
And he's just unbelievable.
What's he like, man? What's he like?
Ah, man, the guy is, first off, he loves Latin music. The cat.
Okay.
Loves Latin music. Last time I spoke to him, he was, I think on his, I don't know what number of marriage, but his wife was Cuban, as a matter of fact, or Cuban or Latin, and he would talk to me about, Gonzalo Rubalcaba. He actually put me on Horacio. He was the first to talk to me about
Horacio Negro. Yeah,
when
yeah.
he first came from Cuba. That's back then. So he talked to me about Horacio. And yeah, man, that guy's a big Latin. You hear his stuff. He sounds
of course,
pure.
man.
He sounds pure, man.
Very authentic.
Yeah,
very authentic in his playing.
So those three, it would be him, Vinny Colaiuta, and Steve Gadd would be my major influences growing up. Definitely. Wow. Still to this day, you listen to
foundational.
Those cats, you listen to those cats. I mean, you've heard Vinny's on all the records. All the records. I mean, Vinny's done English market to the Spanish market. And in the Spanish market, he's recorded with everybody. Luis Miguel, Alejandro Sanz. The list goes on and on.
Oh, I didn't know he did Alejandro Sanz.
That guy is on the album. Bro, listen to the album Mas from Alejandro Sanz. And even the Unplugged. On MTV Unplugged, that's Vinny. Yeah. That's Vinny. That's Vinny.
Okay.
That guy's I think he's the most recorded drummer in the industry with John Robinson Jr.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are the main influences.
Wow. Who have you recorded for in the studio, bro? I know you have a studio, Aguila Records. What have you guys been up to? Before we get into that, what have you recorded yourself?
Oh, man, I got my album out. Brought it out in 2021. For my 45th birthday, I took out an album. And it was kind of put on the back burner for situations that I had to take care of personally. Mm. But when that thing came out, man, it hit. People, because I did old stuff. I kind of resembled what Luis Miguel did, and I did the older music with newer arrangements. The old songs we used to listen to in the church back in the 90s, back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Even 70s, I have a couple of songs in the 70s, and I remade them with new arrangements and stuff like that, and it hit hard.
They sound really clean.
Yeah,
they sound
man,
really clean.
I have some talent on that, man. I have some cats playing on that. Yeah. Or string sections, the whole 9 yards. Mm. Now working on some stuff, but of course everybody knows that my studio was robbed. Everything was taken. Yeah.
Bro, walk us through that a little bit, man. What happened? When did this happen? Why did this happen? What's the unfold the story a little bit?
The why to this day. I was telling you earlier that yesterday I went to the precinct to pick up a snare drum that they have, and I've lost. I mean, I've lost it all. So, and all I got yesterday was a brown bag that said evidence and one snare drum. And I had hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah. The why, to this day, every day I wake up in the morning and I gotta go to work, I ask myself why, or who, or what.
Yeah. You have investigators on this right now?
There is some stuff moving. There's a trial. They have a person in custody since the end of last year. And they keep postponing. We were supposed to do something in February, and the judge pushed it to March, and then March it got pushed to May for trial. So, with that being said, insurance companies don't want to pay out because there is people apprehended. So everything now has to wait until everything clears and what. So
of course.
But it's been hectic, man. I'm trying to get back on my feet, and slowly but surely, I had people that reached out, and my son wrote a compelling story on
Zay.
Yeah, on what is this GoFundMe thing?
Oh, okay.
And people helped. People helped out, and I was able to get some stuff. But not enough to get me back up and running.
Of course, man. And I remember going to your studio before, all that happened, and they came in and took everything, man. But I remember, bro, you had a really, really dope setup.
Yes, 17 years, bro. 17 years. Imagine that. We had just moved to this new location on a Thursday night. Friday, I was there, getting everything ready. Saturday, again, moving stuff around. Doing blueprints. I was gonna have either Bob St. John, fly him in from Miami.
I know Bob. Okay.
Yeah, or Bob is an unbelievable cat, man.
He's a great.
Let me tell you something.
Audiologist.
You really can tell who's in your corner when you're going through the storm. Absolutely. And sometimes those that say they aren't. And the people that you least expect it are the ones.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Let me tell you something. Bob St. John is, I call him every time I call him. I say, Bob, the man, the living legend, the icon. You know, and he gets a kick. He laughs all the time. But if it wasn't for that guy, his words, and I would call him, and you know, and we would talk. You know, we wouldn't talk a lot, but every time we'd talk, that guy would take. And that guy's a busy guy. I mean, he was.
100%.
He mixes across the board.
I think he won a Grammy, right?
For what he
not mixing
one,
and
multiple. Yeah.
mastering.
And you know and Bob ain't Christian, so his dictionary was in four letter words almost the entire time.
Oh,
you know
man!
So
when he heard about what happened,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So the guy would send me a text, man, and or a call and say check just to say what's up, see how I'm doing, you know. And
that's golden, bro.
I was born and raised in the church, and I can count with one hand, you know.
How many people?
Yeah, or at least the higher ups, you know.
Yeah.
Know, I've been here, and you know, it's just it stings, brother.
It does, man. Yeah.
Because I've helped a lot of cats, baby. A lot of people with no interest, just because my heart wanted to bless, because I know they were going to be a blessing. So if I bless them and they bless, it's a circle, man. You're a blessing to be a blessing. You know? You're shocked. I've been shocked. Through this whole process, all I can say is I'm shocked. But it's not God's fault. I know that God has sustained me throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, bro.
Throughout this whole thing, man. So
factual. What else did you lose, man?
July 29th, brother. That was the Sunday. The only day we didn't go.
Okay.
Was that Sunday. And that Sunday, Uzi, you know I had a lot of equipment, brother.
I remember.
Big desk, sofas, the whole nine
mixing
yards.
console.
Mixing console. The racks with the preamps, with all that stuff. And the bishop was there that morning.
Shout out to Bishop.
Yeah, the bishop was there that morning. And nothing. When I walked in there Monday afternoon, I got there late. I got there like around 12:30. I got there to nothing, bro. Absolutely. I fell to my knees.
It cleaned you out.
Clean me out. I ran desperately saying, oh, maybe they were moving stuff, you know, maybe they put it in one room so we can come in here, because we were gonna take off the ceiling and do a treatment on the ceiling. So I'm thinking that they're already doing that. Those are my thoughts. Right. So I looked to different rooms, you know, and there's nothing there, bro. And then when I walked downstairs, doors are completely open, everything's just wide open.
I think you told me that because I remember going upstairs, they had to take the rails off in order to steal stuff out of the room and take it down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they had to take the rails off of the staircase. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It had to be. They had to be watching.
They knew.
There's no other way for it not to be premeditated or somebody close. Right. Because we had just moved. Wow. So it's still pitched in the air. Because the person that they do have apprehended, by law, I can't hear nothing until I'm in that court. You know what I'm saying? You know, they have to keep quiet, but you know, we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
The person that they have apprehended could not. There's no way this person did this by himself.
100%, bro. Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Yeah, and I hope we get justice out of that, man. Yeah, 17 years of work down a drain. It's not easy, brother.
Yeah, bro.
But you know what, guys? I have learned in all this to be grateful.
That's big, bro. To hear you go through that and hear you say that, bro, that's
to be grateful for the lessons, for the life lessons, for what God allows us to go through. I am not a preacher, by any means. I am not. I'm not gonna sit up here and talk to you blue in the face. But what I could tell you is that God is definitely a good God, and He is definitely sustained, and He's sustained me. And to this day, he continues to surprise me. I have not gone to bed without eating. I have drawn an insane amount of bills, because the bills don't stop coming just because you ain't.
That's so true. Wow.
So I had to resort back to work, and I'm working, but God has showed Himself faithful, man. Listen, those that didn't show up, those that did show up, the ones that did show up, let me take a second and say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, all of you that sowed a seed. Thank you, those that called. Thank you, those that said a prayer.
The
Thank
real
you,
ones.
those that, the ones, the unexpected ones, man. The unexpected ones surprised me. And there'll be a time when I'll be able to thank them one-on-one, and say, man, listen, I didn't expect this from you because of this, and that. But I'll take a moment to say thank you. And for those who didn't, thank you. And I pray that, that you're blessed 100-fold, you're blessed 100. I want everybody in life to move forward and be blessed. Dude, did I get angry? Woof. You wouldn't believe.
I imagine.
I'm human, brother.
Right,
I have all type of emotions, all type of sentiments. I got angry. I got bothered. I was hurt. But enough of that, man. I'm living a good time in life now.
Yeah, man.
I'm enjoying, brother. I just turned 48 years old.
Wow.
I'm a G, man. I'm
Don't
old.
even look it, brother.
Bro, I got my boy, 25.
Wow.
Isaiah.
Okay.
Drummer, married. My daughter.
Shout out to Isaiah.
Yeah.
Sick
So
drummer.
those two blessings in my life are enough for me to say, you know what? If I just have those two, then I'm good. God has definitely blessed me. He's made me rich. But I have other pluses in life.
Hey, he's a good drummer, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just met him recently. We had a gig towards the end. I believe it was a women's conference towards the end of last year.
And a cape.
Yeah.
He told me,
Cape
man.
Cod. Bro, he
Yeah.
kills, bro.
Little guy, yeah, that's my little guy. Yeah. He's actually
Shout
very,
out.
and what a heart on him, man.
Oh,
Good guy.
bro, yeah, man.
You meet him, you love him. There's
bro.
only one way with that cat. You meet him, you love him. What a heart on that cat, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So this was a storm, Uzi, and Frank, this was a storm.
Man, what else did you lose? It wasn't just equipment.
I lost Masters,
Who?
Nancy Amancio, all the cats. Masters for Alex Sudlo, I had masters for Samuel Hernandez. Man, who you don't?
Bro,
Wow.
you did Samuel?
I recorded on a lot of the stuff. I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah,
drummer,
of course.
I mean, I worked with so in that Christian industry, man. I worked with pretty much you can name it,
Yeah.
And I've had the privilege to be able to work with these people,
Yeah.
So whether it be in the studio, whether it be live, whether it be
Mm-hmm.
it's just been fortunate, man.
Yeah, man.
Sure, been fortunate.
How long were you on tour? You were on tour with Alex Udo for a while, too,
Yes,
right?
so I was on tour with Alex Sudler from the end of 2016 to the beginning, right before the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, right before the pandemic. That's when everything went. Wow, how was that time for you guys?
Yeah, COVID it shifted a lot for a lot of people. You know what I mean? It was just crazy for live music performers. It really affected a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then you got the social media stuff that happened. Everybody at home and wow, how much
Yeah.
talent is out there, man? Wow,
Yep.
there's some talent out there, man.
Yeah. Yep.
So right up till then, but before that, I traveled with Nancy, with whoever called. I mean, everybody would call. You know what I'm saying? And I had I was fortunate enough to be called to make bands for all these people. Especially in this area. So yeah, man, it's been a ride. It's been a ride.
Yeah.
It's not over yet.
Of course, man.
I got one more hoorah.
Yeah. What are some notable other artists, man, that you've done or you played or recorded on?
I played with Christine Di Clario, Rene Gonzalez.
Wow.
I played secularly with Dominic Marte, with a bunch of rappers. Man, come on. So many people that I've played with.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just on and on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's video of me as a kid playing with a whole bunch of singers, so.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I was showing Uzi a video of you when you were super young.
He was showing me his
don't know
first
how old
video that
you
he
were,
found.
But you were super young, and it was like you were doing like a drum solo for like 4 to 5 minutes. Straight
Really?
drum solo. I'm not sure where it was, but the video was posted like 7 years ago, but the video is older than that.
Yeah, it's gotta be, man. It's gotta be.
He didn't even recognize it. He thought
I
that
didn't
it was,
even, bro. I thought he
your
was
son.
lying. He's like, bro, this is Abby. I'm gonna show you the video later.
Yeah,
bro. I'm like,
cool,
what?
man.
This can't be
Yeah,
happening.
man. You know, I have friends that send us videos from like youth camps and stuff, and I'm playing with some like heavy names in those. I'm like, wow, who would have thought that us in these youth camp, everybody that's doing their stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you got cats like Geraldo Williams, who's traveling with Prince Royce and all these guys.
Wow.
And of course, you guys know the story between me and Jesse Caraballo. You know, Jesse Caraballo started with me. You know, in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. If one thing, listen, that kid is just an unbelievable talent.
He's nasty,
That guy.
Amazing.
That guy is just an incredible talent. And man, he in all of his interviews, you know, when they ask him, he'll say, you know, he'll say my name, you know. Wow. We used to go to my basement. You know, this is one of the things that's funny. You know, we used to do to Jesse. So with Jesse, I had the trick of using the floor tom and making it sound like a kick, right? So I would tell Jesse, no, he would say, no, that's 2 on the floor, Abby. And I say, no, Jesse, that's 3. That's 3 on the kick. Well, 1 foot back in the day. That's 3 on the floor and 2 on the tom. So I would trick him, you know? And long and behold, that kid would practice, and he would come and do it the way I explained it. Even though I was tricking him, he didn't catch it. But he would come back and do that with that foot.
Execute.
He would execute, and then he would blow my mind that young.
That he would be able to do that.
He just sent me a text maybe last week of us in Florida when he was. I'll show it to you guys later. When Jesse was about 4 years old, and he's playing his sister singing because they had the Caraballo brothers. His sister singing, and I'm in the drums, and I'm here talking to him, and I said, okay, now hit this, and he would do it. But I'm here coaching him while I'll show you the video in a little bit.
Yeah.
And that kid, who has he not played with? He's played with everybody.
Most notably, Mark Anthony, but he's done so many people.
Another guy he's from here, and we're getting to talk about drums because the drums is of course, and we'll get to my music thing. But Matt Garska. Have you heard of Matt Garska? Animals as Leaders. If you haven't heard of Matt Garska, that guy is a machine on drums. He's from Westfield, Massachusetts, and we would play with a cat from here that is one of my music mentors. His name is Joe Silence. This cat's 62 years old, and you have to see this guy playing bass and keys at the same time. I mean,
what?
He's playing Chick Corea pieces.
Wow,
you know,
that is
still
cold.
to this day, at 62 years old. And you look at him, you'll say to me, this guy's nowhere near 62. And he is. And he's an unbelievable musician. So I've been fortunate to play with some cats that have helped me throughout the years develop. And it's just time for me to play it forward.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big one too, is like being surrounded by people, you know, that really can help you polish your craft, be better, grow. Like, it's just so important to be around people that are as musically intelligent or better to push you.
Yes, but overall have the right attitude.
Right.
Yeah.
Have the right mentality behind.
That's a big one.
You know, because if you don't have the right attitude, you're gonna be around a circle that. Listen, the circle can make you, the circle can break you.
Yeah.
Right.
Who you have around you, who you have feeding into you, who you have depositing into your life, is gonna tell me where are you going.
Mm-hmm.
It's key, man. It's key. I didn't believe it for many years. I thought that people just didn't want you around people because they were supposed to be a bad influence. Mm-hmm. But, man, supposedly those bad influences have been the ones to really say, man, no, you can do this. You got this. You know what I'm saying? So if the person depositing into you sees more in you than you see in yourself, then, buddy, you're in the right track. Mm-hmm. Right. You're in the right track. And a real circle is going to call you out when you're doing something wrong and say, nah, man, you're doing this.
That's true. That's 100% true. You got to accept the correction. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Yeah. That's a big part of it.
You got to be willing to put in the work, too. Like, me and Uzi have this thing where it's like the amount of hours you got to put in order to get to a certain level. You know,
10,000.
Standard level is like 10,000 hours you put into your craft.
And even that. Yeah, and even that, I mean. And then you gotta also put in perspective that you have responsibilities in life. You have to make the time.
You gotta balance
it. That's when you know you're there. Because if you have all these responsibilities, A and B, and you're still making time in the time of A and B to develop your craft, then that's it. That's one of your priorities. If you don't make this your priority, you ain't gonna. It's like football, man. You know how many people go to what is that quarterback, those football tryouts, and don't make it, and these cats over here rocked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But when they get there, because everybody's putting in the work, man. You got to put in the work.
That's so true.
Be the first one to get in and the last one to leave. You know?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, Aguilar Records, man. And for right now, it's on hold. I work out of my house. I do some stuff out of my house, getting stuff that I had to catch up on.
Stuff
that was
At
paid,
least,
stuff that was So I am concentrated on that. Not really taking anybody new. I took one new person, and I'm probably gonna take another contract. Now, I've been persuaded to.
Yeah.
Both. Let's be real. When you're persuaded to work, everything meets what you gotta do. This,
of course, yeah,
and everything else. It's gotta be the right thing.
Absolutely.
Money talks. Money talks.
Yeah. Hey,
money's
bro.
loud, baby.
Yo, I wanted to ask you, man. Currently, what are some endorsements that you have right now that you're working
still
with?
the real Montano
Real
6.
cymbals?
Yeah. Temple drums, Jordan, man. Hey, listen, I have a snare. It's made out of mahogany wood, but it's 100 years old. Piece of wood.
Wow.
That's the timepiece. I'll never get rid of that. And he made, this guy's an artist, bro.
Where are they from? Where's Temple?
Houston. He hand turns the shells.
Wow.
Everything is like handmade. So if you guys don't know, his name is Jordan Witherspoon. His Temple Drums out of Houston, Texas. Check him out. He's got a page on Instagram. This guy's got some unbelievable stuff, man. High end. It's like a boutique.
Yeah.
High end. So.
How long you been with Temple for now?
Since we signed in NAMM of 2020. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah.
Have you played at NAMM?
I did.
Before?
I did.
How was that experience?
2020. That was. While I played for the booth.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man,
Temple
what a networking place. Oh man.
Oh,
nothing like
imagine,
that,
bro.
And then we talk about seeing talent.
Right.
And then you see people like Stevie Wonder. I was sitting down, Stevie Wonder walked by with his arms.
No way.
Wherever he's going, I'm going.
Bro, that's wild, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Stevie, it's like a legend, bro.
Right.
And you know who else was there? And he was at the Nord booth. Michael McDonald.
Oh.
You know who Michael McDonald is?
Yeah.
That white boy funky.
What?
That white boy funky. And he was there like some the barge.
Okay.
Yeah, they were there. I like these older cats. I mean, this is the cats I
course.
grew up, vibing with, And then a lot of the new talent, Jesus Molina.
Yes.
Oh my God,
From
bro,
Boston,
this
right?
is
Yeah,
amazing.
came out of Boston.
Yeah. Jesus Molina. I saw a lot of heads. And then we did this percussion thing with the guys from Toca. There was a lot of percussionists that are coming up now in days that we did a collab between Toca and the Real Cymbals, and there were some cats there.
Oh wow,
Heavy
okay.
hitters. Yeah, there was some heavy hitters that night.
So the real does boost in NAMM as well. Yeah, okay.
They didn't do it this year because of the pandemic, but in the 20th they got the best cymbal booths. They got one of the best cymbal booths.
Wow.
They went all out, bro. They had some stuff going. Yeah. That booth was packed from the open to the close of each day. Yeah, man, they did it right.
I gotta go to
Edwin's
NAMM,
doing
bro.
a good job. That guy.
Okay.
From Puerto Rico, Edwin took over, man. And what I didn't know is that the cymbal maker for the Real is like respected, bro. The cats from Zildjian, the cats from Mino, the cats from Pace, the cats from Bosphorus, they all came to shake this cat's hand. Because he's
Wow.
respected like that. I was like, oh, okay.
Like he's
All
a craftsman. Like he's
yeah. So
that is incredible.
Ibrahim, man. Cool cat too. Cool cat.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you real quick before we dive into the singing part of your career. What's your cymbal setup right now? What are you using?
Man, so keep it. You know what? To be truthful, I mean, I'm seeing all these elaborate setups, and I'm dimming it down, bro. Because right now I don't have a drum tech. I have my own tech, so I'm using hi-hat stack, which I kind of made in the Spanish market. I made the stack.
Yeah.
This G right here made the stack when I was playing with Alex Stulo. Actually, the stack that the monster stack that the Real was made for me. That was supposed to be a line we did of the stacks, but
okay.
it didn't pan out because of everything, the pandemic, whatever. But yeah, so I'm using a stack right over the hi-hat, crash, ride, crash, and then effects in the bottom. That's pretty much
2
it.
rides.
Yeah. No, I'm using just one ride.
Oh, one
Just
ride. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm leading right. I used to always lead left, but I'm leading right now because you gotta adapt to the tour life, right?
Yeah.
You do this tour. You have a back line. Most all the drummers lead right. They played right. So I had to kind of force myself to leave it there for comfort to be able to make things, flow until the main act, and then you get your own drum set, and everybody else uses a different drum set. Then you pretty much, which happened a lot of times. I would have my own kit. Then I could go back to having my own setup the way I wanted it to be.
Gotcha.
But those are drum tech days. I'm no longer having drum techs, and I'm lazy. So I'm gonna go with the smallest kit possible and the smallest setup possible.
It just makes sense, man.
Yeah, man.
You got to make it make
and
sense.
now with this electronic stuff.
Oh yeah, adding more elements into the mix.
I'll take the Roland SPDX.
Yes.
Kick, snare, tom, cymbals. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's all you need. And if you're gonna solo, if you can't solo with that, then you have gotta learn how to solo with that.
Of course. Yeah.
You gotta adapt.
Yeah,
What's
man.
the biggest crowd you played in front of?
I actually have a portrait of it on my tattoo. 172,000 people.
Wow.
Woo!
Yeah,
I can't even imagine what that looks like.
No, it looks like people after a certain area of people, your eyes they start to look like waves, like the ocean.
Yeah.
Because you can't really make out what's happening. You know what I'm saying? I went after that. I went to the back. It was in Bogota, Colombia. I went to the back and I fell on my knees and said, God, I'm not worthy of any of this.
172,000.
172,000 people. Yeah, it was the biggest festival, and yeah, man.
Where was that?
I played with Funky.
Funky Town?
Oh, what? No way.
Yeah. So yeah.
Funky still smacks today, bro.
Let me tell you something about Funky, man. I like Funky. I like his style. He's got like a certain timbre that is kind of catchy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What out of those cats, the top 3 cats are to this day, you got to give it to them. And I'm not saying these names in any order particular. I'm just saying as far as recognition, it'd be Funky because he's the G,
Yeah.
It'd be Funky, Suldo, and Redimido, and those they're doing it. I think that lyric wise, and not because he's my friend, not because I work with him, but I think that Alex Suldo has incredible lyrics. He's a storyteller.
Yes, he's a very good lyricist.
Yeah, he's a very good lyricist, and it just makes sense. Redimido reminds me of like Nas, of like Onyx, like when you're in the and he's in there, and he's funky too. You know what I'm saying? He's in it. And then Funky just has the it. Like when he gets on the mic, he has he's got a certain sound that you want to listen to the cat.
Yeah.
He may not make sense to what he's rapping. I mean, he makes sense, but like let's say, all right, you want to talk about music. All right, so you can hear Stevie Wonder singing in Japanese. He ain't saying nothing to you, but it's Stevie Wonder.
You know it, like a staple. Yeah.
And he's an incredible lyricist. You know what I'm saying? And come on, let's go to the king, Michael.
Right.
Like, bro, I was like that album Thriller. This cat was doing 72 tracks on an album back in yesteryear. This guy was way ahead of his time, and some of the tracks that he's layering are stupid stuff. But at the end, you put all that together, and it sounds just like, wow, this guy was a genius.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just.
I was watching a video where this guy took his stems and he was breaking it down. All the things that his his ad libs, everything was just intentional.
Yeah.
Everything.
And if you've seen that, this is it.
Yeah,
he knows what the kick is supposed to do.
Yeah.
He knows that guy, the chord that the keyboard player was playing is not the one that he wanted to sing.
Yep.
That guy was a machine. The guy was a machine.
A true legend, man.
Legend. And then you see him on the We Are the World thing. Did you see that on Netflix that just came
documentary?
out? Yeah, man. He was doing stuff while they were in the American Music Awards. He was recording and layering, doing layers and stuff. Like, cat, bro.
Incredible, bro.
Wow.
He said he wrote Billie Jean in his room.
Yeah. And he wrote with Paul McCartney.
Oh, yeah.
What? See, I didn't know that.
Did you know that he owned a lot of the Beatles masters?
What? I didn't know that.
Wow.
He overbid Michael. He overbid Paul McCartney at an auction.
What?
What you do?
The royalties, man. Oh my gosh, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
So yeah, man. That's what I've been. That's what I was. That's what I've done. And now I'm doing this music thing, man. With singing thing. But I'm not looking for altars, guys.
Altars?
I'm not looking for churches. I'm not looking to altar.
Yeah.
I don't live the altar life.
I see what you're saying.
I respect that. I respect the altar. I respect the calling of the pastor. I don't live the altar life. I want to. My vision with this is totally different. You know?
I want to talk to me about that a little bit.
What
you know,
got you? So the church, we bring the sick to the church, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So, and you go to the church to be fed, you know, and to get healed. I want to go to those places where they hang out. And if I can sing my romantic bohemia de los Pancho, all that stuff, and I get 25 minutes in there to sing my music, when I'm present God for 25 minutes, I don't have to preach a message. That's my message. You know, so I want to go to the A rooms, the B rooms, and I want to present my music that way. I want to make that place an altar, you know, and then bring him to church that way. And let the church feed him and direct him and disciple him and bring him to the next level.
That's a strategy. Wow.
You know?
I like that.
I'm not looking for the altar. You know, if you invite me and you want me to sing, you know that I'm coming with that mentality.
Yep.
You know, I want the broken people there. I'm broken myself. I was broken for many years in the church, baby. In the church, broken. Nobody caring because they had me playing. He's playing. Let him get away with murder. Slap on the wrist.
Wow.
Don't do it again. Go ahead and do what you do. I need you to be on those drums. Or I need you to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nobody would care to invest in me.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not downing nobody. You know, everybody. When people are growing, they tend to overlook certain things, and people get overlooked. Right. And I got overlooked in that aspect, not in the musician aspect, but in that aspect. Everybody was afraid to pastor me because I would have left. You know? And I had the problem of not submitting. You know, of being a little egotistic, having an ego. Saying, you're trying to tell me to do this? Who are you? So it was both. Nobody dared to confront me. So
I like that, man. I feel like a lot of young and up and coming musicians can learn from those experiences too. You know what I mean?
You're never the last Coca-Cola in the desert.
Yeah. So true.
Nobody's that. Nobody in life is the last Coca-Cola in the desert. There's always somebody there to. Bro, it's true. If God calls you, God appoints you, God gives you destiny. If you don't walk in it, there's somebody else that's gonna come up and
100%. 100%.
Nobody's indispensable. So I think that the killer mentality for what we do, and in all aspects, whether it be in church, whether it not be in church, that killer aspect that I'm going for yours, you're gonna rub people the wrong way, and you may be the hottest ticket on the market, but nobody's gonna want to work with you. Nobody's gonna want to work with you. It's all about the harmony. I'd rather work with my boy. Oh, I'll invite you. Whether you don't play as great as that cat, but you have the right attitude. You know? And you come prepared. A lot of these cats don't go prepared. A lot of these cats go there and learn the music. I don't know. I'm not with me, bro. I don't work.
The discipline.
I hate the I'm the savior because I'm in your band attitude. Your band is the bomb. People are gonna go see you because it ain't about that. Not in what we do, man. Not in what we do. Not in what we do. Not. Yeah. I used to have that attitude. I used to want to go to places and kill you. I wanted to make it known that I was there. I like that video. You know, there's a meme. Oh, well, the drummer gets there and the other drummer sees you. You know, you hit this. I used to thrive on that. That was true, man. It was true. I used to go to places and I'd expect that whoever was playing, they'd hand me the sticks. You know, crazy, man. I was that.
Wow.
You have that stupid. You're wet behind the ears. You know, that's immaturity. It's what it is. It's immaturity.
Yeah, that's so true.
But people ain't gonna talk about it. But I bet you 90% of the people are guilty. The ones that don't talk about it and they're up there, they're guilty. They want to go in there and they have the killer mentality. It works, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It works for a time, and it just doesn't work.
It gets old.
It gets old, and you rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, people are not going to support that.
And everything like playing drums and singing, you're all self-taught?
Yes.
Wow.
No lessons.
No school.
No schools.
Wow.
Basement.
Wow.
Yeah. School is the basement. And listening, man, and being fortunate to be around incredible musicians.
Exactly. Just be around.
And absorb.
Absorb.
That's what good is if you're around certain musicians and you don't observe, you don't absorb, you don't pick the brain, you don't. Right. Because what? Because you're good. I mean, I learned something from Joe Schmo because he's gonna do something I don't know. You know, there's somewhere something's gonna be played that I don't know. And it's gonna intrigue me, and I like, man. You know what I've been listening because tracking my stuff. I got into the strings.
Okay.
Brother, you listen to some of this classical stuff. It is so intricate and so just beautiful stuff. And timpanis and stuff like that. And that to me was like, this crap sucks. But it's like the most beautiful music in the world now. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's another thing, brother. What's up with this 3-chord stuff? Are you sick of that?
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Bro.
Yo, let's talk about it. Yo, let's go right into it, man.
Well, I'm not gonna down it. Hey, if you like it, I love it.
I mean, you know what I mean? It serves its purpose in its context.
I see your point of view, yeah.
But it's just like not everything has to be like that. Everybody expresses their, music, or like if you're in a church setting, your worship, you express it a certain way, but not everybody has to be that one thing. You know what I mean? I feel like one thing is so highly commercialized. Yeah. In my opinion.
It's way too much.
Way too much, man.
It's way too much commercialized, man. If you play one of these songs, you play all of them.
Yo, 100%, bro. Spot on, bro.
So yeah,
spot on, bro.
But hey, like I said, if you like it, I love it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so
true.
But
man, listen. I understand that I grew up in the times where if you went to Six Flags, you were in sin. Or if you went to the movies, you were in sin. But music was it was different, man. Yeah. You didn't have stems. So first off, people were playing.
Yep.
The chords, the changes, all that stuff, all that big stuff that was happening back then, they were played. They were playing. We came up with them right then and there. And you got to remember, back in the day, there was no rehearsals. You would get down a Tuesday. Hermana Petra tiene el devocional. Chevia tiene una parte especial. El coro la ofrenda tiene 3 patines. Y predica Chespirito. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everything was, you were improvising at every service. You were improvising.
Yeah.
You don't know what key. And then you had those, I used to call these sisters, la hermana corre guitarra, where they would start in C. And they would end up in they would play all 7 7 tonos. They would play
all of them.
Yeah. So that was the real test back in the day. Now, man, everything is bridge, chorus, bam,
intro,
intro.
Dude, break. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Hey, love it. I play it. You want me to play it? Right. It's not my cup of tea, but I play it.
Yeah. Bro, let's talk about your singing a little bit, man. I'm really excited for this venture for you, bro. Honestly,
this has been a long time coming,
dude.
I hate failure, and man, just again I hate to go back to it, but I was in my brain. It was instilled that I had to live a certain way because if God, I wanted God to bless it, I got to live a certain way, and I never lived that way. I never lived that way, so I was scared to release because I thought that I was God. In some altar, God was going to call me, And man, you got to minister through it, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
So at the age of 45, I finally developed the courage to put this out. And I have a clear vision. You know, I'm doing all these old songs, and right before everything got stolen, I had started my pop album. So
Okay.
I was working on a full-fledged pop album. Lyrics that can kind of go both ways, love lyrics or, you know, church lyrics.
Of course.
It's up to your interpretation.
Yeah.
And the album was, man, let me tell you something. I was working. I was putting into it, but everything got stolen. So now I'm back to ground zero again. But my vision was that these old songs, and transition into this new stuff and what I want to do. As going to the A rooms, B rooms, you know, probably getting like a casino contract or a contract like that where I would go and which is in the works, but everything fell, you know. A lot of things in my life personally before the robbery were changed, you know. And you know, divorce, and stuff like that, and so I wanted to get that situated before pushing, and so now it's time. And that's what we're working on.
That's awesome, bro.
So, you know, the Christmas song that but the Christmas song that I released, Noche de Paz, in Central and South America, made it to number 2.
Oh,
What?
And I took it out on the day before Christmas, which was unexpected for me. You know, maybe the drop came in right at the right time, and the algorithm. I'm starting to learn about this stuff. Maybe the algorithm picked up, and people were listening. And I got Spotify gives you that type of stuff, and I was shocked. You know, so
congrats on that, bro.
Yeah,
thank
bro.
you,
It's
man.
a big
So
one.
yeah, man. So now it's now again I'm playing in Central and South America. Like even the old music, the 2021 is really playing out there, bro. And there's a lot of stuff coming. You know, my new family has a big platform in Argentina, and we're working with that. And there's a lot of things, a lot of doors opening. Huh?
Favor, bro.
Favor. There's a lot of doors. There's a lot of doors opening, and there's a lot of doors that are going to be open.
Wow.
You know, influence goes a long way.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at, man.
That's amazing,
so I'm excited.
bro.
I'm excited about this new chapters and what's happening, what's coming.
I remember when you first put out that song, Mi Barca. That was when I was like, wait, Abi can sing too? He's a drummer, but he's a singer too.
That song. So Canciones del Alma are songs that I used to sing. So when I was young, man, I used to get invited to sing everywhere. It wasn't just the drums. I would get invited to Campaña Jóvenes.
This is a whole side of you that I never knew about, by the way.
Yeah, bro. So man, when I was like 14, 15, 16, 17, in my teen years, my church was the most happening church in this area, Villegas. You know, and the biggest events were held there. Everything was held there, bro. You get back in that day to be able to put 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 people in a church, you're doing something. You know, so we used to have those for our congressional services, all that stuff. We used to have a crowd, and I was fortunate enough to be, you know, I have an anointing, man, you know, and I've sold myself short throughout the years, looking for other stuff and paying attention to other stuff that I should have stayed focused. So now is the time, man.
Yeah.
Now is the time. I believe that I'm learning. I believe that I'm still growing when it came to that music thing. I believe that there's still some new melodies. And now that my life is kind of here, you know, I've transcended from, I hit rock bottom. So I'm not where I'm still, I'm knee high right now. I still got to get to the top. And I don't mean by the top as the best, not like that. I'm talking about in my personal space.
Personal growth.
Yeah, I had to get to where I to the top.
I like that.
So, but this platform now that I'm in, I have a different mindset. And all I can say is you guys will see.
Yeah, I'm excited, bro.
You
I'm
guys will
excited,
see,
bro.
You know, I'm focused and you know.
What's some advice? What's some advice that you could give upcoming musicians and upcoming artists that want to take it to the next level?
Stay humble. Be real. Do not sell your personal vision of where you want to go, what you see, your dreams to nobody. Don't sidetrack that. Don't give it to nobody. The less you say, the more you accomplish. The ninja's a silent assassin.
Right.
Be that ninja. Be quiet and keep moving steadfast. And if you're doing this for the source, which is God, then if he's at the center, and don't get it twisted, man. I ain't no preacher. You know, I'm a cat that I'll sit and I'll have a drink with you. I'll sit, you know what I'm saying? But I know that having him at the center, and when I say a drink, this is culture, right?
Of course.
Right. My ladies' culture, they drink wine. And I like it. Right, you know what I'm saying? I'll pound a few of those babies back. Yeah. But it's culture. You know, and I'm not out there getting hammered and twisting back forward, kicking front to the, you know, kicking dirt and spitting cars. You know, I'm not doing that. But I'll have a glass of wine. You know, we'll talk whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you keep them in the center, man, you keep your vision clear. You keep yourself true to your vision and what you're calling. When you point, you got one up, one over there, and 4 and 3 towards you. Right. If these 3 and this one stay connected, what you push forward, man, is blessed.
Wow.
See?
Yeah. That's
big.
When
you connected, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, God, that's the source. Have you never seen it that way?
No.
Yeah. So what you push out has to be you and those 3 together, which is one.
Right.
Wow. I got a little bit of something.
Yeah, bro.
Pastor Abi.
You know. Hey, you don't even get, nah. I think that I would, this is what I want to do. Man, musicians in the church have been walked all over, beat up, spit up, chewed out. You get the worst rep.
Yep.
Yet you're the first to get called on, and you're the first one to get the belt if something happens. You know that. If you're a musician, have you been a musician in the church?
Absolutely.
Then you know it.
Yep.
You know it. You know it. So there's a lot of hurt brothers of mine, because if you're doing this and you're my brother, that are afraid to talk, or maybe they don't want to talk because they're fed up and they're hurt.
Right.
So I'm clearly, I'm the product of that. I'm a product of growing up in that industry, and it's not an industry. Growing up and being used and abused, and you know, how is it that you help this and then.
Let it out, bro. Let it out.
The worst thing is to be known, because you hear the good, but you hear all the bad. See what I mean?
100%.
So because haters hate you, brother, and they're sitting right next to you, giving you a plate of food, but they hate you. So they'll tell you, oh, you know, such and such, after you left, they said this, and this. You hear everything. It comes back to you from the person closest to you to the person furthest from you. You hear everything. And that is the most discouraging thing in the world. You ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why did I sacrifice all these years of my life to try to maintain a life of purity or destiny or whatever? And then you're getting backstabbed and you're getting shitted on. Excuse my language, you know?
That's okay.
By your people. Your people that are supposed to like lift you up, man.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but that it has to be. If I can be, what is that? The beacon to get everybody to wake up and say, man, that is the music ministry in the church is one of the most hurt ministries out there. Right?
Yeah.
Because let's get it through. Your notoriety, if you like women, your notoriety will get you that. I'm going to be raw. You want to be raw? Let's be raw. Yeah. Your notoriety, it gets you any women you want. It's just a fact. And if you don't have anybody over you that's going to direct you and guide you and first of all, let yourself be guided. If you don't have the mentality of letting yourself be guided, and you're what you are, and you're walking into that, brother, and then they're gonna talk about you for doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna get 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to have a willing heart.
Mm-hmm.
To be
I don't know, bro. I think that, and listen, God above everything. The church, there are a lot of churches, and I'll say there's a lot of churches doing it right too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of churches doing it right. There's a lot of people coming up now, younger cats that have the right mentality, because a lot of them were musicians and lived that life.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So they understand.
Yep.
So they understand. But man, growing up and maybe until, let's say 5-6 years ago, most you get beat up, brother.
Yeah.
Especially when your parents are the pastors. You're under a
Preachers
microscope.
kids got it the hardest, bro.
Bro,
you're under a
100%, man.
microscope all the time.
Are you a PK?
My grandma was a pastor. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh well.
I'm a PK myself.
Bro,
Yeah.
and I've been around my dad pastor for a little bit. My grandmother, her history. My brother's a pastor. That guy. If it wasn't for that guy in my life, my older brother Fred, man, let me tell you, there was guys. Everybody knows. There's no secret. If you go on my IG, I believe in the Second Amendment. I love guns. I have numerous amount of.
Nice.
I have weapons, and I love that stuff. But it's a
I love
hobby
it.
for me,
Yeah.
But there was dark moments, man. There were dark moments. When you wake up and when you go to sleep at night, when all this was happening, and these thoughts, if it wasn't for God, bro,
I feel you.
Yeah.
dark moments. So if I can give anybody consejos, and it's that. Don't be afraid to talk. I don't trust anybody down the board, and that is the worst thing for us, because very dark moments. Very dark moments. If it wasn't for God, bro.
No, and we're grateful for that, man.
Yeah.
We're grateful for His grace and His mercy that just surrounded
Oh,
you
yeah.
through those moments, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro.
Especially when everybody turns their back on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's that one faithful friend.
And I can tell you that, bro. If you're going through a moment in life where you don't know what's next, or you've gone up to the end of your line, brother, call on someone. It's never that bad. There's always somebody there that's gonna love you and love you through it. It can never be that bad. It's never that bad.
Yep.
God, and when you think God is the furthest, is when He's the closest.
Amen.
And again, I know this is about anything and everything, and I don't want to be here preaching.
No,
That's not what I do.
bro.
But, yeah, that's don't ever let it get there, man.
Yeah,
There's no circumstance that God won't bring you out of.
that's correct. That is correct.
It just doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were born, and if we're having this conversation today, Frank, it was ordained.
Right.
God already knew that this April 17th of 2024, we were going to have this conversation.
Right. No coincidence.
And, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Only God knows.
Yeah. But yeah, if I can tell you, coming up, stay true to your craft, invest in your craft, keep an open mind, talk.
Yep.
Find that person that you can, let it out.
Yeah.
And grow, man. And stay
'Cause you see a
cling
lot.
on to God, bro.
Yeah, you see a lot when you're on the road. A lot of different churches, a lot of different
I've seen a
mentalities,
lot when you're on the road,
mindsets, and
Different
You
attacks.
see some
different
you see some
attacks. Yeah.
people, you lose friends, man.
Yeah.
I lost some close friends. I lost into, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to
Yeah, bro. It's important. It's paramount.
It's just that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
Yep.
Let it go and grow.
Yep.
And you know what, guys? You gotta say bye to some people sometimes.
It's a time for everything.
Everything.
And maybe you don't have to say bye forever, but for certain seasons, you gotta. It's about your growth.
Yep.
Absolutely, man.
You can't be afraid of that.
Yeah, bro. No, we're glad. We're glad to see you, man, where you are, and that's why we wanted to have you too, man, because you're a pillar here in New England.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Spanish music genre, if you haven't heard this enough, bro, you need to hear it, man. Us up and coming musicians, when we see Abi win, we love to see you. We love to see Alex Moran win as well. Shout out to Alex.
Yeah,
you know, you guys are like the pillars in this area, bro. Alex is cool, man.
That's my road dog. You know, that's that guy and me. We've traveled together our whole lives, man. That guy and I.
Yeah. Are you guys related?
Yeah, they call us Batman and Robin, bro. He's Robin. He's Robin.
He's Robin.
He's Robin. He's Robin. He's white. I'm Batman.
Mr. Bassman, Mr. Drumman.
Yeah,
now Mr. Singer.
Alex and Navi, man. That's what they call us. Yeah, man. The dynamic duo they used to call us. Yeah. So that guy and me have some stories, man.
Yeah.
He's yeah. Good. Good story.
Of course.
And stories that, people would love to have. I mean, you traveling, you're doing this, you're on a plane every other day of your life. You're living that life,
right.
You know?
Yeah, of course.
So it's one of those things, man. I'm gonna do some Instagramming while I'm talking to you.
Yeah. Dope.
Yeah. That's what is it, man.
Man.
I remember seeing Alex playing with Trio de Hoy. That's how I first seen him.
You know, I was Trio de Hoy's first drummer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and at that time I had just married, and I had just had Isaiah, and things happened, and I had to stay off the road, and that's when Orlando went in. But I was the Trio de Hoy's first drummer, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They took off when I left. When I left, they got that big show with TD Jakes.
I remember that. What was that, like 01, 02?
Yeah, man, exactly, yeah.
Wow.
Because I started, but then what happened was I became like to the church. I became rebellious, and that's when I started touring with Dominic Marte. Yeah, that's when I hit that tour and all that stuff.
He's about to.
I worked in that album. Yeah. That was his biggest album, and I was fortunate to work with it.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah. That was his biggest album, and that was his biggest song,
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to work. And we worked that album in Miami. We did a couple of stuff in the Hit Factory, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Hit Factory.
Man. Yeah, that record, man. He had the biggest bachata company back in that. That was in 2001. And these guys that worked with Juan y Nelson were the producers for Monchi Alexandra and all that stuff. So they had a big budget.
Wow.
So we worked at the Hit Factory. We worked with Hal Denson. We worked some major stuff. That record was done in.
What was that like, bro?
Well, that's the first experience that you have with this type of company.
Dang.
So I get off the plane and I picked up in a brand new X5 back then, and then we go to the nicest steakhouse.
Televangelist status.
Yeah. And then from there we hang. Yeah, that's the televangelist, bro. You know what I'm saying? And exactly that, bro. Yeah. I was. I'm not gonna say names, but I was them on steroids. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good experience.
That's really dope, man.
We took Ocean Drive at that point by storm, man.
Oh wow!
Can you imagine? You're with that. You don't have. Your budget doesn't have a limit type stuff.
Right.
And your experience in Miami at its fullest.
Yeah.
And back then, it was different. It was different times back then. 99, 2000, it was different times, bro. Yeah. So, it was definitely that was. And I toured with him until 2003.
Okay.
2003, I got off the road. Did local stuff, and then 2006 is when I opened Aguilar Records, and then after that thing took off.
Wow,
it was his own thing. That thing was his own. Everybody was recording there, man. They were flying from all over the place. They were coming from Santo Domingo, from everywhere to record.
Are you still? And you don't have to tell me like stats behind it, but are you still collecting royalties from stuff that you've done in the past?
Yeah,
That's so dope, bro.
Nice.
That little ASCAP check.
You know what
Ooh,
I'm saying? It's you got some songs out there. You know, what I'm
that's
saying?
so dope, bro.
But and if it wasn't for that, brother, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for that, what would I be? You know. So
That's good, man. Favor, bro.
Yeah,
you know,
favor.
it's another stream
no,
of
but
income.
I mean, during this whole time when you stop working, come on, the bills don't stop, baby.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
If it wasn't for those little pushes right there, those checks that push. And I don't know, man. I don't
all
know
the
where-
broadcasting, all the radio play, all the wow.
There's, yeah. And back then it was that radio play. Now is when you got the Spotify's and the YouTubes and all that stuff.
Yep.
But in 2006, when I did, I remember Nancy's biggest album. That
Nancy.
was mine. Yeah.
Nancy Amancio.
Yeah, that was mine. That album, her biggest album, was done here.
Wow.
And her biggest album was done in the studio about that corner, that size of that corner over there.
Wow.
Yeah, in my basement. And that was her biggest. That was the biggest. Everybody that I've heard that song on
that
elevators.
album.
Yeah, I heard it on elevators. That song in Venezuela. I was with Funky in Venezuela once, and that song was playing in the elevator. Yo, tacho. Hasta en la sopa me sale la canción esa. So.
Yeah.
But it is, man. Now we're here. Now we're gonna try to push this.
Of
so
course.
obviously, I have a little bit of friends in the industry, so I'm thinking collaborations and stuff.
Definitely.
Yep.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What this is gonna morph into.
collaborations and what I do, because I'm from that era, the Luis Miguel era, the
Yeah.
Castro. That's my era. So I'm gonna do these collabs with this new age stuff, but bringing it to my era, my thing. So
I'm excited, bro.
a little bit of the twist, but we'll see.
Yeah, bro.
What is it? Reggaeton balada.
hey, you'll be the first.
You know what I'm
You'll be the
saying? So
first.
we'll
Hey,
see.
man.
We'll see.
A whole new genre.
Yeah. So, but that's in a nutshell, man. I'm really pushing for this. I got a lot of things happening this year. Life-changing events. And pushing forward, baby.
Dope, bro.
Yeah, bro.
On model status. So yeah, that's it, man.
That's really
it,
cool,
Frank.
bro.
What you got, Frank? What about you, man?
Me?
Can I ask you guys a question? What's your vision with this? Let the people know.
We want to document. We just want to document talent
Mhm.
that we've come across over the last 2-3 years that we've been working.
4
Frank
years.
and I've been working close together.
Yeah.
We've done shows. We've done a lot, and we've seen a lot here in New England. And we feel like there's a lot of people that don't get the shine that they're due.
Enough exposure.
But just hearing their stories, man, hearing backgrounds and being able to get the privilege to document all of that, somehow, some way,
Mhm.
the man behind the mic, the man behind the drum set or guitar, or we've come across, we've done rappers and we've done people from different genres so far, and
Or even see a different side
yeah,
of the artist or the musician.
exactly.
And it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a musician or artist. It could be a small business owner.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Of course, I like that.
Entrepreneurs
Very,
Yeah.
who are grinding and trying to get it out there and get it.
So I'm gonna believe with you guys, man.
yeah.
This is here now, but when you guys are in LA doing it in New York,
Right.
and
Heck yeah.
fly the little Puerto Rican in.
Man, of course, bro,
Absolutely.
100%.
Help me out, man.
Whatever.
Yeah, so yeah, man.
First
Yeah.
one. For sure, but we appreciate you coming on here.
We
you
definitely
know.
do, man.
Absolutely. And for you guys, people that are listening to me and people might follow me, keep my dad in your prayers.
Amen, absolutely.
Will do.
It's a tough time, keep him in your prayers, and
We will.
And my old guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, we're right there with you, man.
I'm a musician because of him.
Wow.
Wow.
He's a guitar player and stuff. So
Okay.
keep him in your prayers and keep my family, my siblings, my kids, everybody
Mm-hmm.
throughout this process,
Absolutely.
And thank you guys for having me, man. Thank
Man,
you.
This
it
is
was
an
a
honor,
pleasure to
man.
talk
We're
to you, bro.
privileged.
Just
We're privileged to be in
take
your
a
presence,
moment.
brother.
About a chicken wing, baby.
I feel like in the passes that we've had, gig and stuff, like we don't really get a chance to like really sit and chill. I think, you know, because like you have to go to your gig, I got to go to mine, It's like all high bye type thing. But, you know, today I really learned a lot from you, man. And just, I'm really happy for where you are, where you came from, and where you headed, bro. And, man, we're really excited for your journey. We're happy, bro.
Yeah.
And then you know, June 8th is a big day.
June 8th.
June 8th is a big day for me.
We'll mark this down on a little
mark
calendar.
it down. June 8th is the day where I start a new life with my partner, my new life partner.
Hey.
She is Argentinian, and you know, pray for that. And,
Absolutely, bro.
And for our family moving forward, you know, for my kids, everybody, man, it's a good time, Lucy.
Bro. Of course, man. You gotta be excited, bro. Yo.
Yeah, and
That's
man,
big.
thank you guys, and keep posted.
No
We
problem.
will,
We
bro.
definitely want to have you back.
We want to have you back,
Let's
bro.
do that.
Maybe
man. Let's
maybe
do that.
maybe
Let's
we
do that.
could do it in your studio, or
We were
Yes,
thinking
you know?
that
yes.
too, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
We want people to get a chance to see what, you know,
what's
what
the
we
new,
got working.
Exactly.
The new. Yeah, bro.
So let's do it, man. Let's
Yeah,
do it
for sure.
So then we have a rain date for that one.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you for watching the Everything and
Yes,
Anything
sir.
podcast, where we talk about everything and anything. And we out.
We out.
We out. We out. Y'all out. Peace. Yo. Hey y'all, it's Abi here, and I'm here today on the Everything and Anything podcast, and I'm with my boy Frank and Uzi, and I want to sing these old hymns that we used to sing in church, the Spanish church back in the day. Para aquellos que no me entienden, quiero cantar estas canciones que cantábamos nosotros cuando estábamos en el llamado o en el devocional, allá en los 90, a los principios de los 2000. Si se la saben, cante conmigo. Tu fidelidad es grande. Tu fidelidad incomparable. Nadie como tú, bendito Dios. Grande es tu fidelidad. Grande es tu fidelidad, que da vida y que da paz. Calmas toda tempestad. Grande es tu fidelidad. Con mis manos y mi vida te alabo, Señor. Te alabo, Señor. Con mis manos y mi vida te alabo, bendito Señor, porque tú has sido precioso para mí, precioso para mí, precioso para mí. Porque tú has sido precioso para mí, por eso te alabo, Señor. Tus ojos revelan que yo nada puedo esconder, que no soy nada sin ti, oh fiel Jesús. Todo lo sabes de mí cuando miras el interior, y todo lo puedes ver dentro de mí. Llevas mi vida a una sola verdad, cuando me miras, nada puedo ocultar. Yo sé que es tu fidelidad que lleva mi vida más allá de lo que puedo imaginar. Sí, yo sé que no puedo negar que tu mirada puesta en mí me llena de tu paz. Alma mía, alaba a Jehová, al que te dio la vida y vino a ser morada en ti. Alma mía, no quiero que estés triste si Cristo te hizo libre, para que puedas alabar. Alma mía, alaba a Jehová, porque si tú le alabas, yo estaré en paz. Porque Él vive en mí. No temo al mañana, Él vive en mí. Gozoso estoy, yo sé que Él